So in the last session, we installed NiFi, and this is the user interface for NiFi, wherein you will find a lot of interesting components and the status bars. So this portion is basically having NiFi components, and this one is having real-time statistics about the NiFi. This part is actually indicating the navigation. How do we navigate when we have large NiFi data flows? So how do we move from one end to another end, and how to see where are we right now in the big NiFi workflow. This is NiFi flow where we can start, stop, and we can control these process groups. So these things can be done here. So now what we are going to do is we are going to build a data flow, and we will basically be retrieving data from Twitter, and then we will be retrieving the required attributes. We will be extracting the required attributes, and then so we will be converting these attributes into like a JSON, and from JSON we will be converting into Parquet file, which will eventually be stored in HDFS. So that's what we want to do. We will be working with Twitter data. So for working with Twitter data, we will need some API keys. So those API keys you can actually set up on your own. So you can actually create a Twitter developer account, and I will have a separate video how to create a Twitter developer account. For the time being, I will be making use of my own API keys. In case you want to create your developer account right away, so you can go ahead and watch that video before you actually continue further with this particular session. So because there is a dependency on Twitter developer account, so you need consumer keys and access tokens, etc. So first create your Twitter developer account and then come back to this video. So now what we will do, we will start with the data flow here. So I'm assuming you are done with the Twitter developer account and you have the required tokens and consumer keys. So that's why I'm just moving ahead, and I'm dragging one component. This is like a processor, and this processor is basically responsible for retrieving data from Twitter. So I will be searching for this processor here. But before I search for this processor, before I filter, I want to show you there are 286 processors in this version of NiFi, and these processors are basically very easy to use. You just need to drag drop on the canvas, and these processors will give you ability to retrieve data from different systems, and it can send data to different systems. In between, it can do routing, transformation, enrichment of data, and whatnot. Like you will find there are so many possibilities, like data format conversions. So we will be making use of some of these in this exercise so that you get fair amount of idea the capabilities of processor. So right now I will be searching for Twitter here, and when I search, I have this processor which is get Twitter. So I'll just be saying add. So when I add this processor, it is shown here, and can you see if I just do right click refresh? So right now after refreshing it, I can see there is one problematic scenario, and it is indicating that there is some issue. So if you want, you can just mouse over it and you can see like what is the problem with this get Twitter. So I will just do right click and I can do configure. So it's time to configure Twitter processor, and we will be specifying the Twitter account details so that get Twitter processor can start retrieving data. So I will be giving a meaningful name here to the Twitter processor. So let's say my Twitter. So this is my Twitter, and it is retrieving data from my Twitter account. So I'm just writing my Twitter here, and then I will be going to the scheduling. We are just saying execute it as soon as possible. So this is fine. Like we already said this, we are going to properties now. In the properties, I want to do some kind of filtering. So I will be choosing filter endpoint here so that I can filter data based on certain criteria. So I'll pick up this filter endpoint, and then I need to specify the details, like what is my consumer API key. So let me paste it here. So I have this in my clipboard. Let me paste it here. So let me bring the other consumer secret, and I will also put the access token. So let's do consumer secret, and then we have access token. So I'm specifying that also. So these 4 values you will get from your Twitter developer account when you set up. So this is all set, and I am just putting the last value here related to Twitter authentication. So this is all set. So I am changing language to English, so we are interested in English tweets. And I am also changing the terms to filter on. So I am just writing I want to filter based on football. So you can give comma separated list of terms that you want to search, but for the time being I'm just giving a single term, football. So I'm not specifying any other criteria in this processor, so I'll just simply say apply. So when I apply it, so number of errors have gone down to just one. Earlier it was showing a lot of errors, right? So now we are able to configure the Twitter get Twitter processor. Now the next step is to actually link this Twitter processor with another processor, and that processor is evaluate JSON path, because we are getting data from Twitter in the form of JSON. So let's do that. So I'll pick up this processor, I will drag drop, and then I will use evaluate JSON path. And using this processor, I will be able to configure a lot of things, like I will be able to map the important attributes. So first let's connect these two together. And when I'm connecting, it is showing me the connection. Connection is a queue in between two processors. So this is indicating that if there is successful relationship, then only move to this processor. And the setting is like these are various settings for this queue, and these are like priorities you can set. We have load balance strategy, and then you can even set the expiration of the flow file. So here if you see, like we can even set the back pressure. Back pressure is a technique in which you can actually specify like after how many object threshold the current processor will start giving like feedback, or this particular queue. Let's say the number of flow files in this queue are more than 10,000 now, and this particular queue is already full. So now this queue will start giving this feedback to the previous processor that the capacity of this queue is full, so please don't send more messages. So it is basically conveying the previous processor that we don't need more data right now, more flow files right now, so just wait for some time. So this is like another criteria based on size. So I'm just adding this, and then this can you see, now we have this in stop state, the error state has gone. So I will just can you see this is not in sync right now. Now after some time only it got synchronized. Otherwise you can always do right click and refresh, and then it will show you the right status here. So it is indicating one processor is in stop state, one processor is in error state. So what's the error here? So there are some configurations that we did not specify, so we need to fix those configurations. So let's configure it. So I'll say configure, and I will go here and I will specify the settings. So I'm not changing anything here, it's fine, like the default settings are okay, but I will say terminate this relationship on failure and unmatched. So I'm just selecting these two. This is already enabled, yeah, so there is no issue, but I just need to change the name. So I can give any meaningful name. So that was my Twitter, so you can say this one is basically I want to pull the key attributes from this JSON. So pull key attributes, so I will be doing that. Scheduling we are doing as soon as possible. So we need to change some properties in this processor, and we are working at the attribute level. So in flow file we have two things, one is content, another one is attributes. So right now we are working at the attribute level. So I'm just adding few more properties here. So these properties are related to entities, and this is like the property name, and I will be specifying the value for this property. So how to retrieve the value for entities, this is the very first tag that we want to retrieve. So I'm just giving hashtags, and here you can specify 0th element and dot text. So that's how we retrieve first hashtag from the tweet. Now the next one is ID, and I can specify the value. It's basically $.id, and it's also set. Now I'm adding another one which is basically lang, and here we will have $.lang, and I'll say okay. I'll add another one. This one is basically name, and I will be specifying $.user.name. Okay, so this I'm just mapping the attributes to the JSON content. So this is text, and then I'm specifying the text value is dollar dot text. So this is fine. We just specified the basic attributes. I will say apply. So you can see we have one error left, and this is because I have not connected this component to the subsequent components. So what we will do, first of all, we will run it, right, and we will see like how it works. So I'll run this processor. I'll say start, and here when I run this processor, you can see this processor is also visible here, and it is running state right now. I'll say refresh. So you can say one is running, one is having issues. So right now this is queued, getting queued, data is getting queued. Can you see 11 flow files, and then this much is the size, this is 11 flow files, this much is the size. I'll say stop. So when I say stop, you can see like this is in stop state, and then if I refresh this, and then it goes into stop state, and there is one. So we can see we got 21 queued messages. We want to see the queue. So in order to see the queue what we got from Twitter, so we will go to list queues. So we will do right click and click on list queues, and it will start retrieving the data from this queue. So it is displaying the data from the queue, and I can just go anywhere. I will just go to this message, and I will see the content. So I'll say formatted, and in this basically we have football. Yeah, so this is what we got from Twitter. So that means Twitter is working fine. We are able to connect to Twitter. We are able to retrieve tweets from the Twitter. Now we can actually see many other details that we want to do, but those things we will look into after we are done with the flow. So this is like a second step. Now I will be connecting another processor, and this processor is basically like I want to convert these attributes to JSON. So let's use this processor attributes to JSON, because we just got this key attributes in the flow files. Now I want to convert this attributes to JSON. So I'm saying that for relationship matched, right? So we want to create this connection, and then settings, we are not changing anything here. So I'm just saying add. So this connection has been made. So you can see like this is fine. Like we will just go here, and we can see the error has gone. There is only one issue. So we will go to this particular thing, and then we will start fixing it. So in order to fix it, we will go to configure, and we can actually specify the list of attributes that we want to configure. So we know that we were having 4 attributes, or 5 rather, 5 attributes. So I will be specifying those 5 attributes here. One was language, another one was ID that we configured in the previous processor, and then another one was text, and another one is name, another one is entities. So I'm specifying these attributes. I will say okay, and then I'm not specifying any other regular expression. Destination is a content. So from attribute we created like a content. So I'm creating a JSON right now, so that's why it is selected as content. And once this is done, I will just basically be using another processor, which is convert record processor later, but for the timing I'll simply say apply. So when I apply it, I can see there are 21 messages which are queued. So I will run this particular part, and I will get some data in this queue. So the data, we are expecting 21 flow files from this like we are applying this transformation, and then we are enriching the attribute. So we are extracting, specifically speaking, we are extracting data from this, and it is still running. Okay, it's done. So I'll say right click, stop, and then I can see this is queued. I will go to the list queue, and I will look into the content of the queue. So if you go to the message, so in the message you will see there is nothing changed as such, like it is exactly same. The reason is we did not change anything in the content. We changed the attribute through this processor. So if you go to processor, then you will see we have these attributes populated because we wrote code for mapping it. Yeah, so this is how it looks like, and I will close it. So the main thing is we got additional attributes here. Now I will close it, Now we have these attributes, so we want to convert these attributes to a JSON. So that's why we have this processor attributes to JSON. So we will be working on this particular processor now.